Rejections. Do you remember the last time you felt rejected? In today's video, Cece and I is going to share some tips on how to get over that painful moment. So stay tuned.
Hey, Blissful friends, welcome back to another episode of the Blissology podcast. I am your host, Cece, and I'm joined by my hubby. Hey, babe.
Hey everybody, this is Willem, and thank you for joining us today. We're glad to have you. If it is your first time tuning in into our podcast, it is a weekly podcast where we talk about
love, life, family, relationships, and everything else that's happening around the world.
everything else.
Whatever it is, we're going to talk about it, okay?
Not really.
Yes, we will talk about it. So bring it on. So guys, before we get into the topic of the day, I want to share something blissful that happened to us over the week. Right, babe? Anything blissful happened to you this week?
The same blissful thing. I come home to a pretty woman.
Oh,
I think that's blissful enough.
thank you. Well, yes.
And I get to wake up every morning to go do my thing.
Yes.
I also think that's blissful enough.
Absolutely. God wake you up every morning. Another blessing.
Yeah.
It is definitely a blissful moment.
Yes, and I'm grateful for that.
Amen.
What was your blissful
brother.
moment?
Well, same for me. I do feel that my blissful moment is being, your wife. That's a blissful moment. And, you're such a caring husband, loving husband. And
Oh, say more, say more, say
you
more.
do what you do for your family.
Keep saying.
And we're going to be here all night if I'm going to say more and more and more. This will take like a whole
day?
the whole day.
There's a lot.
It's
What
a
can I
lot.
say? There's a lot.
It's a lot. Well, besides that, my blissful moment today was our daughter setting up the table for dinner.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that.
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
What's cute about it is that my husband was in the shower and I was getting myself together and then I said and I was like, you know what, let me go in the kitchen and set the table because we got our food and everything ready to go. And the kids was like, Mom, we got the table set up already. And it was like such a beautiful moment to see our girls setting up the table, right?
Yeah, it's good seeing kids taking initiative, without having to tell them to do things, and they kind of got up and do it. And obviously they've seen us do it.
Right. And the thing is, they have like their task when it comes to dinner. They, each one of the girls have like their duties, their responsibilities.
Yes, but tonight I decided to.
Oh my God. It was so cute. It didn't even we didn't have to tell them to go do it. The fact that they went and got it done, I was like, oh, my babies.
Soon I'll be able to take a break.
No, baby, you have a long time. You have a long way to go.
What? I can send him to go get stuff.
I mean, I think, yes.
Soon I'm going to be able to send him to go to the store.
I don't know about that. You
Soon I'm
have a
going to be
long
able to
way.
go send him to work while I stay home.
That's a lazy dad. No, I think one thing about having kids is just that you can ask them, hey, get me some water or get me, something. Like you can send them, grab you something. But I don't know about send them to the store.
Well, eventually I'll go to the store for me.
When they get older.
Not anytime
you have a
soon,
long way to go, like I said.
But they pay attention. And one thing I learned from what they did is that they saw what we've done, and there's no negotiating. Every night we eat together.
Yes.
On weekdays. On Fridays we eat together, but not at a table because we watch a movie.
On Friday we can't skip Friday because it's their night. Friday is like the girls' night out.
Yeah, I mean we still eat together, but not on a formal setting where we sit at a table.
Right.
We kind of hang out on
movie night
on the couch and watch a movie. But on weekdays, from Monday to Thursday, we always eat together.
Yes.
On the table, and they know that.
Yes.
So. But yeah, they pay attention. These kids.
They do. They pay attention. I think they look forward to setting up the table and they do the trays. They make sure that the trays is put on the table and daddy makes sure that they set the utensils very where it's supposed to go.
I don't have to set tables anymore.
No, you don't have to. I like the fact that I cook dinner. When I cook the meal, the kids put the utensils and one set the tray and daddy get the drinks. Each one of us have something to do. Not like, mommy set the table and bring the drinks and the food and everything else on the table. But what I like about it is that we all participate in, when it comes to dinner time. As well, I think breakfast is also the same thing too. When we do anything, if it has to do with food.
Well, on the weekends, breakfast. During the weekdays, I tend to eat breakfast on my own.
Well, yeah, you do.
Sometimes they join me.
Yes.
Depends. Lately, over the last couple of weeks, they kind of do their own thing.
They do their own thing. Like, forget you then, Dad. Forget you.
Well, I kind of eat too early. That's probably why.
Yeah, like 7 o'clock is way too early for them to eat. But I like the fact that on the weekend that we go in the patio and then we sit together and they still set the table in the patio and still, we still do our breakfast, but it's cute. Anyway, yes, it's cute. That was my blissful moment. I felt like our girls is like very responsible and they do things that make us feel like, wow.
Proud.
Very proud. I'm going to give you $10 this
Bragging
week.
Parents.
Hey, if your child is doing good, why not brag about it? My mom brag about me all the time.
She does.
Yes. She does.
Anyway.
I am proud to say, yes, she does. She does. But yeah, so now let's get into the topic of the day. That's a big one.
There's nothing big about rejections.
Oh my God.
You just
Do you
get
remember
rejected.
the last time that you got rejected?
I can't pick up anything off the top of my head. I mean, that happened recently. I'm in an environment where kind of people answers to me, both at home and at work.
Hey, hold up. I don't know about at home. Okay, you have the girls. I don't answer to you. Okay? We talk.
I've had moments of rejections, but nothing like recently that I can pick up and say,
you've had moments, whether if it's through a career or dating someone, where you were checking someone out and you were
I haven't dated someone in since I dated you.
Yeah, but I'm talking about prior, right?
Yeah.
In high school.
Yeah, there's been moments where, and rejection can take different forms.
I feel like when it comes to rejection, there's no big or small rejections. It's like whatever it is, it affects you some type of way.
Yes.
Point blank, period.
Yeah, and with rejection, it's at one point in time, almost all of us have faced it, some sort of rejection.
I've been rejected.
Whether it was in the form of maybe a school experience, maybe a company that you work for,
family,
maybe within your family,
friends.
And we have friends that reject us sometimes.
Yes, or even your coworkers. Yeah.
Or maybe a job you didn't get.
A promotion.
So
can you imagine? Like, I remember those feelings when I used to work corporate. Like when you were expecting this promotion, you didn't get it. It's like, man, I work hard. I work my butt off thinking that this was coming, and it hurts.
Oh yeah, rejection hurts.
Yes.
However, rejection in many ways teaches us stuff.
Yes.
It helps redirecting us to things or people or places.
Opportunities.
Opportunities that are sometimes better than what we originally thought. So
absolutely.
Although it hurts, but sometimes it just helps redirect our focus to something better.
Mm-hmm. I always say this, any rejection in life is a way of God telling you that's not it. Think about when you got rejected from asking this girl out that said no, because God was telling you that's not the girl that I have for you, or the guy, and then until you finally find that job or that opportunity or that girl, then you like, okay, God, I see you. So any rejection in life is a way of God redirecting you to something better, because it's still not it.
Yeah, and rejection doesn't always have to be about the big stuff,
right?
Getting into the dream college or the top school that you wanted to get into.
Not getting the girl of your dreams.
Not getting the guy of your dreams.
Yes.
So it doesn't have to be about these big things. Every situation can lead to to some sort of rejection.
Yes.
Like maybe you told a joke among some coworkers and everybody kind of go about doing their own thing and no one laughed and you're like, geez, didn't they hear me tell a joke?
And there's some people that actually will take that, you know, in the wrong way. Like,
yes,
seriously,
some people, their feelings will get crushed. I mean, they thinking, man, this is the joke. I'm gonna lay it out. And everybody's gonna bust out laughing,
and you get some crickets.
And nobody did anything.
You get crickets.
Or you in a group setting and someone come in, they greeted everyone, give them good big hugs, and nigga, you standing here, they ain't even like pay attention to you.
You sound like you're talking from experience, though.
It's happened to us, and it gives us a sick feeling on the inside.
Yes.
Like I'm not a crazy joker, but sometimes if I happen to muster up a little bit of a joke and I tell it, I'd like to at least know that at least reach one person. If no one laughs, yes, I feel hurt because I don't normally tell jokes. If I tell one, that means I absolutely had to tell it.
Yes.
Right? You on the other, you don't tell jokes at all.
I do.
So if you tried, I'll laugh even if it's...
I do tell jokes. It may not be as funny, but I do tell jokes. But one thing about me though, when someone tell a joke, I don't get it right away. It takes me a few hours or sometimes days.
Or sometimes they have to explain the joke to you.
Or like my brother last week, he sent me a text message and I have no idea, no clue what he meant by the text, right?
So 2 days later you text him back.
And I was like, ha, what do you mean? You know, I didn't get it. And he's like, really, sis? And that's just how I am. I don't. You know,
talking about text messages and this.
But it was a video. It was a video and a text.
Yeah, but I'm talking about text messages. You know, there's people you text them. If you don't reply, they take that as a rejection.
Yes, that is so true.
Yes.
Yes.
See me, maybe I've been rejected.
You kind of feel some type of way.
I've been rejecting a lot of people, I guess.
I feel some type of way. Okay, then girl, bye.
Yeah, but people take that really seriously.
I think sometimes it's just low self-esteem when you don't have confidence in yourself.
It may be, but if I've ignored anyone text, it's not on purpose. I'm just bad at returning texts.
But I don't think you have to apologize either. Just you.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm sorry. I'm saying it's not on purpose. but that's me saying that rejection can come in different forms, but when it does happen, I mean, tell yourself, hey, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, yes, I got rejected this time. Maybe next time I'll get it right. Oh well. Yeah. Things happen.
It's life. You move on.
Yeah. Don't feel sorry for yourself.
You didn't get the job, you move on. You didn't get the girl of your dream, you move on.
Yeah.
You tried your best, and I think it's always good to keep moving forward.
Yeah, it's good to keep moving. And think about the good things you've done and all the things that you're good at. Mm-hmm. Remember all the times you've been accepted and all the jokes that you've told in the past where people laughed. Right? Yes. Or you made the team.
Yes.
You tried out and the coach picked you. You know, give yourself credit for things you've done or things that you're going to do. Because at the end of the day, I think when you try, especially when you try something you've never done before, you took a risk.
Yes.
And sometimes you have a 50-50 chance.
Girl, you know? Kind of like give yourself a pat on the back. Yes.
But, you know, rejections can work to our advantage.
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, sometimes when it's, you know, rejection, I always look at it as the way of God, redirecting your path, your direction.
Yeah.
So yes.
And sometimes it's an opportunity for us to take a look back at ourselves and consider, are we as good as we thought we were?
Right.
You know, it's okay to think about whether there's room for improvements, or if your goal were maybe a little bit higher than your skills were.
Yes.
Maybe you need to get your skills better.
Yeah, so work on it.
Yeah, if your skill weren't strong enough this time, maybe you need to work on your game. Maybe that girl you approach and you drop that cliche line on and
She's like,
She said, "Buzz off."
yeah. She's like, I heard that before.
Maybe you need to go practice some new games.
Yeah.
Or maybe you went on that job interview, you didn't prep enough to answer the questions, or maybe you couldn't articulate your skills as to how you can help this company.
Right.
Maybe you need to go back and role play your interview questions, do some more research, whatever it takes to improve your chances of getting out where you need to be. Sometimes being rejected allows you to look back at yourself and see, what do I need to do?
Right.
Use that rejection as an opportunity to self-improve yourself. Get some self-help book.
Absolutely. No, I agree with you.
And many times rejection is a harsh reality.
It is.
For many of us.
It is.
It's funny sometimes. We think we are way better than we actually are. Especially if we have people around us who don't have the guts to tell you, you're not as good as you think you are. You need to do better. Because if people around you will just go whatever you're saying, they're afraid of hurting your feelings. So if you think you're like the guy, the man, you got it, and they won't tell you that because they don't want to hurt your ego.
Right.
Sometimes you need to get rejected to realize that maybe I'm not there. I don't have those skills.
Right.
I need to get back to reality. Maybe I need to work on my stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And those who find yourself rejected often sometimes can become
distressed,
frustrated.
Yes.
When people face constant rejections, yes, frustration is one feeling that's there. And what typically happen, they start rejecting themselves, believing that they're not good enough for others, or they'll never succeed. That may be difficult to cope with. It's like anything else. Rejection could be tough to deal with, especially when it seems like it's frequent. If every way you go, every new things you try, you keep hitting roadblocks.
Yes.
It's gonna be hurtful, and it's gonna be tough to deal with it.
I want to say, it can be very distressing and frustrating, like you mentioned earlier, but there's a lot of people who actually find themselves go through deep depressions because they try to fit in a group, and they not welcome, and they don't feel like, oh my God, I'm not good enough to be, I'm not being accepted. They don't like me. I'm being rejected. So that alone can that can get you frustrated.
Yeah.
Think about when you were in high school, college, you're trying to get with this group of girls or guys, and you think you're cool. You think you got the cutesy, you got the look, the whatever it is. But then when the girls look at you and you're like, they give you that vibe, like you're not welcome here. You're trying, but they don't really like you.
Yeah. And it happens at every stages of our lives. You could be in your mid-40s and you just don't fit in.
Yes.
In your place of work. Sometimes in your church you don't fit in.
Yes.
Sometimes even within your own family.
Your own family.
You can have issues fitting in. But the hardest thing that happens, or maybe the craziest thing, is sometimes these people are feeling this way, feeling rejected. They don't share it with anyone. They internalize it all.
Yeah, they hold it in.
And that will kill you.
Yes.
Now, I know in our community it's not common to see therapists, but this is one thing you should see a therapy about.
Absolutely.
Or if you have a friend, I'm talking about a true friend, someone that you can trust, someone that can really help you through stuff. I'm talking about a true friend. Speak to someone about it.
Don't hold it in, because you're gonna get very, very frustrated. And what's going to happen, you're going to go into a depression. And once you go into depression, you're going to think of killing yourself or do something like really, really hurtful. So, I mean, to me personally, I don't have a whole lot of friends, and I'm okay with that. And I find myself,
how about me?
You're not my friend. You're my best friend.
But if you're married, those are things you want to discuss with your spouse. Or if you're in a relationship with someone, those are things you want to discuss with them.
And I wasn't done.
I'm just saying.
So I was gonna say is that not having a lot of friends, there's nothing wrong with not having a lot of friends, right? You may have one or two friends, or it may just be just you. And sometimes you may have to just take care of yourself. A lot of people, they feel like, oh, I gotta have friends for me to feel like I am
Needed or wanted.
Yeah, like no. You don't have to. You can look into yourself and say, you know what? I'm doing pretty good for myself, by myself. I don't feel like if I am in a circle that I'm gonna feel rejected, or I'm gonna feel like, oh, they don't want me here. I'm gonna need to act like them for them to make me feel like I am part of this group. But you don't have to. You just gotta be yourself. Because there's a lot of people out there who are going into like this really, really deep depression.
Yeah.
And it's really hurting a lot. Young people,
young and older,
you
folks.
know, because especially in social media,
you put a post and no one paid attention to it.
You put a picture and no one pays attention to it, like
or someone put some negative comments on it.
Right, right. It's like it's just so easily to take your mind like into that stage. You know, and you just have to be able to reach out to friends or family members and stay positive. You know, find you some kind of a group of people that talks about positive stuff, or that goes into, or maybe like go to the gym, work out, and that a lot of time that release the stress.
Oh yes,
that release anything that's going on in your mind.
Yeah, so it's good to have a hobby, something that you do to pass time. You know, some of us, like me, I can get on the computer and start playing with things, and it takes my mind off of things. Have something that can help you reset your mind.
Yes.
Take the weight off of your shoulder. Now, I know you talk. You probably call your mom and you talk about all of the type of stuff to get that off you. So, but it's important to speak to someone. There's many times I
can't speak to you.
Me?
You don't listen.
If your spouse do not listen,
my spouse don't listen.
Still speak, because sometimes you speak not for them to give you a solution, but to literally get the things off of your chest.
Yes.
Vent to someone. It's okay to vent. I'd rather have us vent for hours than keep something inside.
And you be like,
yes.
You be like, okay, honey, it's time to go.
But you know, one of the things that helps dealing with these things is don't make that moment of rejection bigger than it actually is.
True.
Don't dwell on it for days and days, and don't call everyone that you know in the world to tell them how wrong things have been to you, and stop blaming yourself. It's difficult to move forward from there. Not everything is your fault.
Yes.
You know, if you don't fit in a group, or maybe people don't like you for who you are, it's not your fault. It's
just you.
It's them.
It's them.
And, you know, one thing that's important, don't go and beat yourself up when whoever may have been involved in the situation. Just go home and sleep like a baby, and you at home just crying. Who's hurting in that in that scenario? You are.
You're right.
So, but it's easier said than done.
Yes.
You gotta have you gotta build yourself up to be able to deal with these things and move forward. And sometimes we don't have it. And this is what's important to have a support system, or maybe a therapist, someone that can kind of help you through it. Because there are things we run into. Some of us can get through it on our own, and others, we got to get some help.
Yeah, I went through mine a few years ago on my own.
So, and especially if someone already have a low self-esteem, it's important that they take actions when they run into these moments of rejections, because it just fuels more into that negativity that they already have in themselves. It makes it crazy hard to recover from.
Yes. Because every time you turn around, you're like, I'm not good enough. I'm not wanted. I'm not needed. No one loves me. You know, I feel like I don't belong in this earth, and I don't belong here.
Yeah. And those are the thoughts that lead into the places that none of us wants to be.
Right.
Yeah. And
it takes moment.
It takes time. It takes time to heal, and it takes time to pull yourself out of that hole, because technically it's a hole you find yourself in.
It is. To me, I feel like the worst rejection is when you're in high school, or when you have a thing for someone. You know, when you have a thing for either a guy or girl, and then you like this person, but then they don't like you back. You know, you're like, man, what is wrong with me? You start like questioning yourself. You start asking yourself, am I the problem here? You know, why don't he see me the way, you know, he sees the other girls, or vice versa? Why don't she see whatever if it's the guy? But it's like the hardest moment when you go through your high school and not feel like you are, you know, you have anyone to go to the prom with. I'm not speaking of experience, okay? But
I didn't go to my high school prom.
You didn't go to your high school prom?
I didn't care.
You're so bad. Wow, who really bad?
I didn't.
Well, you didn't care.
I didn't care.
But that's not the point. The point is having a good time. You go in and have a good time with your boys.
See, I'm unusual. During that time where many of these kids were trying to have a good time, I had to learn English. I had to study for the SATs. That's what we used to say. They still take the SATs. I had a lot of other stuff. Now
you gotta live your life, honey. This is like once in a lifetime.
Am I still not alive?
I'm just saying.
And I don't have any regrets.
You gotta have that experience, though. That's what I'm saying.
See, to some people, they'll feel so bad that they didn't go to prom.
Oh, listen, I had
and
to
that
go.
could be a form of. I have no problem not going to
I
prom.
I went to prom
because I know why I didn't go, and it was something to better myself.
I don't know what you're saysaying. Like 2 hours or that one day.
But focusing on that whole prom thing, because the whole prom thing starts way early than because it's a thing that everyone's kind of like, you gotta go.
Yeah, like your senior year, you must go to prom.
No, I didn't.
No, baby, that's a must. Well, I don't know.
Well, I didn't.
I guess you weren't that cool back then.
Oh, I didn't care about being cool. See. My years in high school was probably not as typical as many other kids.
But that's not the point. It's just that one-time experience, and that's something that a lot of us just put, you know, some effort into. And I bet you if we were together back then in high school, I would have dragged you to it.
Yeah, you may have. But
and I think you would have gone.
Thank God you weren't.
Oh, wow, really? That is so
you
wrong.
would have dragged me into doing something
or maybe you just didn't want to get rejected by some girls.
That could have been.
You probably feel like, you know what, I don't know how to dance, and if this girl asks me to dance, I'm gonna feel like you know, 2 legs in a shoe.
I would have picked the easiest girl that I know I can get.
The easiest girl. Did you hear that?
Listen, there are some girls that I know if I had gone and asked to go to prom, they would be more than willing to. And yes, probably would have been like the joke that all my friends talk about the next few weeks.
Of course, that's the fun.
But they would have accepted to go with me. But it wasn't something that was important to me. It
wasn't important to you, but it was important to me. I make sure that
I'm not saying that it shouldn't have been important to you.
On that day, I make sure. I don't know if my brother went to prom, but that's his business. But I make sure that I went with my girls. You know, we were like 4 or 5 of us in the car.
I think girls is a show off.
We did rent a limo. We rented a limo, and we were just like, you know, I was looking very cute, you know, with my small waist.
Listen, I was crazy stingy. Put money in a limo and go rent those tux?
Once in a lifetime.
Yes, I have no prom pictures, but I think I'm okay.
I have prom pictures.
Where
and
are they anyway?
Mine is still in my dresser. It's right there. I have, believe it or not, my prom picture is right on my dresser, and I looked at it all the time. So, see, if you had gone, you would have a picture of you.
I have other pictures.
But yeah, so
but maybe rejection has something to do with it.
Maybe that's why you didn't go.
Could be.
But I know that.
Because I know I didn't have a girlfriend. I would have had to go ask someone to go with me.
I didn't have anyone, and I was okay with that because I had my friend and we were together.
Or maybe I was afraid that I go with someone and I couldn't dance, or maybe they want to go to the after party. I couldn't go.
Oh, and we went to the after party too.
Yeah. See, I was...
Where did we go? Went to
like I said, my experience in high school was not as typical as the others.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You were just boring.
But you know, listen, boring or not,
you were just one of those people. I was like, it's no big deal. It's just another day. You gotta live your life.
Am I still not living? If there are anyone who's thinking about doing something in their lives, I think it's important to do the things you want to
Your
do.
sister went, right?
Of course.
So out of the three of you,
Yes,
you're
she
the
did.
only one that didn't go.
I think I had to go pick her up that night.
All that matters that she went, she experienced the moment, and she had a good time. You know, she has pictures of she went to the prom. I hope you know, when it comes to the girls going to the prom, you can't.
Oh, they're not going to prom.
Oh, I don't know. Over my dead bodies there.
But talking about rejections, maybe me not going had something to do with it. And maybe I should look back to see, was I afraid of something?
Yes.
And there are things that we don't do. We'll find other reasons to cover why. But sometimes it's the fear of rejection. Because none of us, especially when we're young, and even to this day, many of us cannot deal with being rejected. It's like a slap in the face. It's like a punch in the stomach.
Right. I feel like you not going to the prom was like a way of isolating yourself from everybody.
Afraid from getting the no.
Yes.
Or maybe get there and I find myself staying in a corner while everybody's just go, wow, wow, wow. And then I'm there.
Even if you are in the corner, you nod, you go like this, you feel the music. Hey, it's a party over here. You're just enjoying yourself by yourself, or with your boys.
Now, if it was right now, I'll do it because I built a confidence and I can go to place.
Okay. So it's a little bit of here and there.
And that's what I'm saying. It wasn't important, which I may have categorized it as that, but there were most likely other reasons that made me that made me think that it wasn't important.
Yeah, gotcha.
So, sometimes we build layers just to make things make sense.
Layers and top of layers and top of layers. Yeah, that was you right there. Yeah, you're right.
To get back on what we're talking about, rejection is real, and it's one of those things that could take time to get over.
Yeah,
it's either the bad breakup or me making up reasons to not go to prom because I was afraid of something, or maybe being fired from a job. But most people eventually get over the pain, of being rejected, the hurt that you feel when you get rejected. Most of us gets over it. A lot of times, these are things that people don't want to talk about. And they do their best to isolate themselves from talking about it. And as we know, life is what we make of it.
Yeah.
And how we perceive it. We may not be able to control what happens externally, but we can always control our reactions to it. And what I should have done on that prom, I should have said, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to prom.
That's it.
I get in my car. I dressed up. I got my ticket. I go in there. I jump a couple of times. And then I come home.
That's it.
Take some pictures.
That's it.
Yeah, so we always have the ability to control our reactions. Now, what if, you're being rejected? Hey, it just simply means you're going to do something else. You can't do this now.
Right.
Just find yourself going in a different direction. Remember, it's always this or something better. If you're rejected from something, you're actually being redirected to something else. Stay positive and keep the faith that the good time will come. I didn't go to prom, but I married a pretty woman.
You are so right. You are so right. Yes. And not everyone can handle it. You got to have a thick skin, to be able to pick yourself up and move forward. Because if you have a low self-esteem, it's going to bring you down more, and you're going to keep on digging that hole harder, deeper and deeper, and you're going to find yourself in this dark moment. And you got to be like, you know what? It's just a moment. It's just a rejection. So what? This happened to everyone. Yes, it may not be easy. It is easy and said and done, right? That's what I said, right?
Yeah.
But you got to be able to just find it in yourself. Pick yourself up, shower, get yourself together, and move on to the next level.
Yeah. And that's the easiest way to get over rejections. However, if you find yourself deep, I'm talking about deep where you're like borderline getting depressed, you start questioning your existence, get some help.
Yes.
There's tons of help available. See someone, a therapist, a professional. someone who can kind of help you sort through your issues.
See a life coach. I'm right here.
See a coach.
Yes.
Someone who can help you get through your issues.
I can.
Yeah.
But I feel like though, like if it's something that's like deeper, like a divorce or some kind of a hard moment in your life, definitely see a therapist. And there's nothing wrong with seeing a therapy, right? Because they have the knowledge, they have the experience, and they can help you get through whatever that you're going through. A lot of us find ways of coping, of dealing with it. Like I went through something 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and I was able to, through prayers and keep fighting and keep praying, and I felt like, I gained my strength back. So, but not everyone can cope that way. Not everyone can find it that way. You have to go through someone that can help you gain back your confidence or gain back yourself, because it's not easy. So if you have to see a therapist, do so.
Yeah.
I know they say Black people don't see therapists, right?
Nah, there's still a lot of stuff.
They say Black people don't see therapy.
Well, people say things. I haven't seen a therapist before. I haven't had a need to.
Black people don't see therapists. But I know some people that seen therapists and they said it worked for them, and they just keep, doing what they need to do. And it helps them improving themselves. It helps them get to where they need to get to. And all that matters is that you take care of yourself. Forget about what people said.
Yeah. And if you're in a relationship, maybe married, maybe engaged, maybe your boyfriend, girlfriend, pay attention to your partner, because they could be going through something difficult. And sometimes you may be the one person who can either help them or help them find some help.
Yes.
And sometimes if you're in a relationship with someone, they bring something to you, don't dismiss it. Listen. And many times when it comes to these mental stuff, many of us don't quite understand them. Sometimes we are quick to dismiss it. We're quick to just brush it to the side and says, man, go get yourself together.
Yeah.
It's not as simple as that. Sometimes people need real help. So if you're in a relationship with someone and you realize there's something going on with them, maybe they need some help.
Or if you're a parent.
If you're a parent, pay attention to your children. Listen to what they're saying.
Teenagers, teenagers.
When they reach that age, that's when they start, expressing these things, these feelings of rejections. When they get in, they start, having the need to belong to things. And if they're being rejected, that can have an impact on their mental health. So
absolutely,
pay attention to them.
Ask questions, talk to them, because you've gone through it and you don't want your child to experience that moment. And we talk to our girls all the time. Hey, how was your day? Talk to me about anything. Let me know what you're going through. So,
and if they're not speaking, pay attention to their behaviors.
Right.
Because a lot of times you'll find some of the things they do will change. Especially if you have a child that typically would not be locked in their room doing nothing or God knows what.
Right.
And all of a sudden they start doing it. There's probably something going on.
Yeah.
So pay attention to change in behaviors and emotions. So you may have a child that was like all nice, and then all of a sudden they start being like mean, or they being impatient with you over like simple things.
With you or
there may
the
be something
sisters
going
or brothers.
on. They're getting irritated very easily.
Very quick. Yeah.
So pay attention to these things, because all those are signs that there may be something going on. There may be something to be addressed. And unfortunately, as parents, we're not equipped with many of these skills. So if it's not something you can help with, seek help.
Yes. Pay attention. Exactly. That's the word.
Yep.
Yes. Alrighty. Well,
thank you everybody for joining us. We appreciate you sitting and listening to our views on rejections, on what you could potentially do to deal with them.
Yes.
And please, would like to know how. Yes, I didn't go to prom. But we'd like to know how, if you've run into any rejections in your life, how you were able to handle it. Just leave us a comment. We'd like to hear your thoughts and your experience. And I'm sure some of the other people that actually listen to this podcast may like to hear your thoughts as well.
Yes. How do you cope with it?
Yeah. So share your experience, and hopefully you can help someone.
Absolutely.
All right. So thank you for joining us. We appreciate you listening. Keep supporting the channel. If it's the first time with us, Please remember to subscribe.
Yes.
Hit the notification bell so we can notify you when these videos come out. On that note, again, share it.
Talk about it.
All right. So thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you next Saturday.
Bye.
Peace.